Welcome to Combos from the Couch by LifeStance Health, where leading mental health professionals help guide you on your journey to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Hello, everyone. This is Combos from the Couch. I'm Nicolette Lianza, and joining me today is Executive Operations Administrator Sarah Ray, and she'll be sharing her own journey with anxiety and even giving some advice to others who may also be navigating anxiety. So, welcome, Sarah. Great to have you on.
Thank you so much for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what is your role at LifeStance?
Absolutely. So I started with LifeStance back in August of 21. I was the EA to the CFO, the CEO, and the CPO. And I also served as the office manager to our brand new HQ location in Scottsdale, Arizona. As of October of last year, I became the executive operations administrator, which is just a bit more of an elevated role. It's more surrounding the planning and managing and activities of meetings for the ELT, other leadership teams, and then it also develops the board meetings as well. So it's like a big project manager, but not really project-based, just more kind of activity, meetings, corporate flow kind of project management.
It sounds like your job is a big job.
It is, yeah, and it's funny because it still encompasses supporting the CEO, the CFO, and the CPO. So I always had my hand in something, and then the really cool part is I get to still support my executives who I've been working with for at least 2 years. I'm really fortunate. They're amazing people, and they are extremely supportive. So I love my job. Personally, let's see, I am originally from Southern California. I've been in Arizona now since May of 2013. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for 18 years.
Oh, wow, that's sweet. Aw,
I know it's so cliche, but I love it.
it's beautiful.
And we have a daughter. Her name is Reese, and she turns 11 in June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty, I'm pretty normal. I don't really have anything exceptional.
And that just says that how everyday people can navigate anxiety and stress and things like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So, can you please share with us how anxiety manifests in your life? Was there a defining time that you felt your anxiety started?
So I don't ever remember really struggling with anxiety as a kid or as a teenager or even as a young adult. I feel like it really amped up after I had my daughter. And it wasn't really around like the normal worries that you have when you have a kid. It's not, are they going to get sick? Is something going to happen to them? It was more about not being able to plan for things anymore. Like I lost control of my life. You're on this baby's schedule now, and that's your life. And it's funny to say because it's not really a life-changing like stressor. I didn't feel like it was a happy time, but it just turned into me not being able to see what tomorrow is going to be or what the next hour is going
Uh,
to be. And like being a pre-planner, which obviously helps in my job, but losing that aspect of myself and being able to just plan for things and know when things are going to come, that kind of, I feel like it just triggered something in my brain.
Understandably, with parenting, it is very hard, as much as we may try to plan out things and stuff, but especially with an infant, that's very difficult to do, and just transitioning into being a new parent and things like that. So I can
That's
see where
right.
that would bloom up there for you.
That's right. And then you're going back to work. Like some people go
Oh,
back to
yeah.
work. And so I went back to work very quickly. And it was the balance of struggling with the balance of managing your time at home and trying to be with your new baby, and then also managing your job and wanting to do well at your job. And so I think that's probably where it was. It was just a lot of my anxiety is really focused around the work environment. It's just a lot of, I feel a lot of pressure to do
Mhm.
well. I feel like there's a lot of eyes on me. I feel like a lot of people depend on me to do well. And when things don't happen the way that they should or the way that I plan them to, that's where it starts to perk up. And feeling the overwhelming situations, I start
Mm.
to get shaky. My voice will crack. If I'm really losing it, the emotions come out. So it's just, I try really hard and I feel like I'm getting better as my confidence is pushed up because I feel like you don't always need to be told that you're doing a good job, but I feel like if I am aware that I'm not hindering anybody or if I'm not messing anything up, I can calm myself down a lot faster.
Got you.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as perfectionistic at all?
Yes. I do. So I rarely hand things off to people unless I really need them to. And I have such a supportive, there's two EAs that work for LifeStance, and they're extremely supportive and always asking if I need help with anything. And we didn't have that for a long time. Like I was the only EA for, geez, over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So I got used to doing a lot by myself.
Yeah.
And now I have a control freak trait that I need to get rid of.
That you're working on it. You're working
Yeah,
on
I'm
it.
working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a perfectionist streak. So if something doesn't line up with that, it throws me off my center.
Got you. And
Yeah,
the reason I asked that question because often you seem like you're a hard worker, you're very intelligent, you seem very resourceful. So it just seems like that paired up really well with perfectionism. And with perfectionism, I know perfectionism is a beast, and what comes hand in hand with that is
right.
also anxiety. Anxiety.
And I don't think I ever really realized that. And I think it's just because of the roles that I've done historically in my career. It's always been that kind of like detail-oriented work,
Mm.
and it's just gotten to a higher level each time. And that's just where it's come from. That's the only thing that I can decipher where it's come from is just a higher level of work and expecting a higher level of performance from myself.
Got you.
Yeah,
So it also sounds like you could be a little bit hard on yourself then.
absolutely. I am my worst critic. Yes.
What's the hardest part about navigating anxiety for you?
For me, no one knows or no one knew previously before I posted publicly, but no one knew. And I really didn't want anybody to know, especially in the workplace. I didn't want anyone to know. I felt like it carried a stigmatism of me not being able to handle myself or handle my work or be able to complete the job properly. I felt like if people knew that I had this internal issue, that I wasn't trustworthy. So at home, it's a completely different situation. Like I can get anxiety from the most innocuous things. It's like, if I know I have to pack for a trip and I have to pack everybody because I'm just type A, but
Got you.
if I have to pack for a trip, I'm making lists and I'm making sure that we have everything and I'm asking the same question over and over to everybody in the house. It's funny how the stupid things happen at home and then it goes to work and it's like these major things. But I think it's just feeling like you're not in control, especially when it happens at work. I get extremely nervous when it starts to poke its head out because I can't reel myself back in sometimes. And the only way for me to get over it is I have to let my emotions out.
Okay.
So I will just take 5 minutes, go cry in the bathroom, fix myself and come back and take care of it and handle it and like nothing ever happened. But sometimes I just need to release the tension. Like
Yeah.
it needs to get out.
And let me say this, I appreciate your vulnerability even coming
Yeah,
on this
of
episode.
course. Yeah.
I, I just to share, we've never met before, and I saw, if I might say, a LinkedIn post from
Right.
you,
Yeah.
and that's where I was like, wow, that vulnerability and sharing about your anxiety, and then looking at the comments of all your supportive
Amazing support.
coworkers, yeah, and that's where I'm like, oh my gosh,
And I think I was trying to make people aware. I feel like because I'm under more of a microscope now, corporate wise, I felt like I needed to, I don't, whether it was for myself or for other people to gain knowledge about me, I just felt like I needed to say, I might screw up once in a while. And I am fully aware that I'm screwing up and I am never going to let myself live it down. So it's like, I just, I want people to know me and I want them to understand me when I have these minor episodes sometimes because there has been an instance where we've had a major event and things are not going well or I'm feeling like they're not going well and I had to take a moment and just remove myself and let it out and come back in. But those are the situations where I'm like, they're never going to let me do this again. They're never going to have me ever run this thing again. It's just it was really debilitating. And luckily, I had amazing people around me who were just allowing me to let it go and tell me that it was going to be okay. And I just literally had to say something to someone and I said, let me cry it out. I will be back and everything will be fine. Okay, do it. And it worked out. But then I get mad at myself because I'm like, why do I freak out? I know I can do this. I know that I've done this before. There are people around me that support me. I can ask for help.
mm,
That's the hardest part is just you don't trust yourself and then you don't allow yourself to trust other people to get you through it. And
mm,
you feel like it's your own battle. You feel like it's your illness that you have to fight on your own and no one understands. That's what you think. You think no one understands. You think you're the only one that's going through something like this or has ever dealt with something like this. And that's the mindset that needs to change, really.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You mentioned before needing to outlet the emotion.
Yeah.
Are there other ways you currently manage your anxiety?
I realized like getting out of the building,
Yeah.
taking a walk around the block, getting some fresh air, putting your AirPods in and listening to some music, like your favorite music. Those are the kind of things that kind of bring me down. Sometimes I need to call my husband. Sometimes I need to call my mom. Sometimes I just need to talk it out with people, and giving me a perspective from their side on why it's not such a big deal and why I should look at it a different way brings me back down too.
So what advice or guidance would you give others who may be struggling?
So I would say don't be afraid to talk about it. Like I was, there's so many people that have the same mindset, and being able to look back on things that you've been able to overcome in the past, whether it's something at work that you thought was just going to crumble and fall apart and somehow you made it work. I have to think back to those times where you think that this is never going to recover and you've been able to come back and bring it back to life. So that's a big one. You can't bottle it up. Like I said, I've learned that really well, because when I've tried to and I've tried to hide it, it's just it just cripples me.
Got you.
So it's allow yourself to cry for 5 minutes. You'll get over it, rather than just keeping it in and then it ruins the rest of your day and you're just inoperable the rest of the day.
Good point.
Yeah.
It sounds like it can be very lonely, especially suffering in silence, feeling like you're the only one who might be suffering like
Yeah.
this or struggling like this. So, speaking up to feel a little less alone, very important. Any other takeaways or insights you'd like to share?
I always looked at it as something wrong with me. And I just want to say that anxiety doesn't make you any less of a person than anybody else. And honestly, I've started to think about it in terms of I care too much, and that's why it affects me so much. And if I look at it as I care instead of I worry too much, it makes me think of it as in a different way as well. So rather than it being a stressor, it's a task, or it's just something I need to get through and it'll be fine.
It's a
It
great
doesn't.
reframe, by the
Yeah.
way, that I
I
care.
mean, I
Yeah.
do. I'm sorry I care so much that this is just throwing me over the edge. It's the
Mhm.
perspective that I've gotten. But anxiety doesn't make you weak, and it doesn't make you incapable of having a professional job or doing well in your job. I think it creates empathetic people who are able to see other people's struggles in any situation, because internally that you've struggled, and you're able to see people's wins too. Because I think you celebrate your own wins more when you know that you've been able to overcome this thing that's so hard for you to do. But we know it's hard either way to just navigate both the highs and the lows. And so I think it makes very empathetic people, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. My gosh, Sarah, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us
Thank
your
you.
story
Yeah,
and wonderful guidance for others who might also be struggling. And I think the theme here is speak up, don't suffer alone.
absolutely. And always, obviously, if you're not able to cope on your own, talk to somebody, talk to your doctor, seek mental health. Sometimes you can't fix it on your own.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need that outward help. So don't be afraid to talk about it to your doctor if you need to. That's the other big point.
Sarah, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I also like to thank the team behind the podcast, Jason Clayton and Juliana Whitten. Thank you for listening to Converse from the Couch. Take care, everyone.